Old Soldiers' Home, Veterans Administration. To provide for the well-being of disabled Civil War veterans, Congress approved legislation in March 1865 establishing the National Military and Naval Asylum for disabled officers and men of voluntary forces at Dayton, Ohio. From this first action to care for our nation's veterans has evolved the Veterans Administration, with hospitals and domiciliary facilities across the nation. In 1878, the city of Leavenworth proposed building one of these soldiers' homes and offered up 640 acres of land southeast of the city and pledged $50,000 as an added inducement to make the home a reality. In 1884, the Board of Governors of the National Home for Disabled Volunteer Soldiers agreed on the Leavenworth site, and the next year, Leavenworth contractor James A. McGonigal was directed to start construction. By 1886, 17 buildings were completed, all but 4 being barracks. The mess hall was large enough to feed 1,200 men. From its inception, the home was organized along military lines. Members were required to wear uniforms, and they were formed into companies and required to stand in regular formations. In a souvenir booklet published in 1900, the following comment, referring to the mess hall, was made. "So perfect is the discipline among the waiters that the lieutenant of the dining room can change the manner of setting the tables by a motion of his hand." Not only did the home care for our nation's veterans in its buildings and hospitals, the first of which was completed in 1886, the extensively landscaped grounds have attracted visitors throughout the years. Another interesting feature is the Gothic and Romanesque Emmanuel Chapel. The building, ornamented with stone gargoyles and stained glass windows, was arranged for simultaneous Protestant and Catholic worship, and this arrangement prompted the chapel's inclusion in Ripley's Believe It or Not vignettes published in 1921. From the original 640 acres, the size of the home grew to about 700 acres through additional purchases. The grounds eventually were reduced to about 340 acres. In 1930, the Soldiers' Home, as it was popularly called, became part of the Veterans Administration, and in 1936 the name changed yet again to Wadsworth, honoring Colonel C. W. Wadsworth, director of the National Home Service within the VA. Today, the hospital and domiciliary services operate under the title Leavenworth Veterans Administration Center.